Sengoku Basara: Samurai Heroes is the latest in Capcom's answer to the Dynasty Warriors series. This is the third game in the series, and the second one to actually come to the Americas. The first game released here was called Devil Kings, and they changed the names of everything. Yukimura Sanada became Scorpio, and Shingen Takeda became Red Minotaur, otherwise known as
My lord!
Capcom, in a change from the recent routine, decided not to be tards and for once keep it faithful to the original. Sengoku Basara is the overly dramatic retelling of the Warring States period of Japanese history. This particular installment focuses around the events leading up to the Battle of Sekigahara, where the Western Army, led by Mitsunari Ishida, clashed with the Eastern Army led by Ieyasu Tokugawa.
At which point the two sides sided together and defeated Dracula, sealing him in the eclipse for many years to come.
What are you doing?
I'm helping with the review.
No, you're not. Go away.
Fine. But I'll be back.
The story here is told through a mix of dialogue between stages, in-game cutscenes, and the occasional pre-rendered CG. It's all very cheesy, with each scene being either some strange joke or highly melodramatic, which comes off as funny in its own way, either because you have a Japanese sense of humor or just find the Japanese ridiculous. Possibly because you're racist. The preposterousness and extreme embellishments throughout make Sengoku Basara far from an accurate retelling of history. In this game, you play as one of over 16 characters as they fight for control of Japan. This is accomplished in a very Dynasty Warriors-like style. Each stage is large and filled with generic enemies, which are basically fodder, generals which can actually put up a fight, and guard captains that, once defeated, allow for more of your troops to enter the battlefield. The game does, however, change things up enough to not feel exactly like a Dynasty Warriors ripoff. Each stage has its own gimmick, which range from some reasonable objectives like opening water gates so your boats can infiltrate the enemy's base, to absurd scenarios such as disabling Motonari Mori's sun lasers. These gimmicks make each level feel unique. Upon completing a stage, you earn experience points, money, and items. As you gain experience, you level up, which unlocks new techniques and improves your stats. The money you earn can be used to buy accessories, which increase stats or provide special bonuses. And the items that you gain from victory are accessories, materials that can be used to make accessories, and weapons. Each weapon you obtain has a different bonus and can hold various amounts of accessories. The combat system is simplistic and comprised of basic attacks and super art attacks. Basic attacks are performed by rapidly pressing the square button to create combos. Super art attacks, on the other hand, are stronger techniques that are good for ending combos. Each character learns 7 super art attacks. 4 of the super art attacks are assigned to neutral triangle, triangle while moving, the R1 button, and triangle while blocking. The 3 remaining moves are set to the R2 button, and the player has to choose one of them at the beginning of the battle. Each character's super art attacks are unique. For instance, Yukimura's super art attacks are mostly wide attacks that are good for taking out large groups of opponents, whereas Mitsunari's super arts all allow him to teleport to the nearest enemy either before or after the attack. The various styles of attack make replaying the same stages fresh with different characters. Each character also has their own Basara attack, which can be performed using the blue gauge under the character's health bar. This attack renders you invincible while you perform a series of high-power techniques and spew absolute nonsense.
I lay my sins to waste.
Aside from the Basara attack, there is also a hero meter around the character's portrait. When this meter fills, you can enter bullet time and deal extra damage. The soundtrack features a robust 63 songs, one for each character and stage. The music is catchy by design, especially the intro song, which is Japan-tastic. The voice acting is solid, but catchphrases repeat a minimum of 2 to 3 times per level, slowly driving any player who spends an extended period of time with the game insane.
How'd you like to feel some dragon claws ripping your flesh? How'd you like to feel some dragon claws ripping your flesh? How'd you like to feel some dragon claws ripping your flesh? How'd you like to feel some dragon claws ripping your flesh?
I wouldn't! Wouldn't what? Not like this magazine. I want this magazine. I would like to buy it. I have beaver fever. Wow. Okay. There you go, sir. Thanks. You're told. Security?
Though the character design in Sengoku Basara is eccentric and interesting, the level of attention paid to everything else is minimal at best. The environments, though not exactly painful to look at, are nothing worthy of this gen, and enemy soldiers are, for the most part, equally lacking graphical fidelity. The reason that the graphics are subpar in Sengoku Basara is that it's made with the MT Framework Lite, an engine made by Capcom whose design goal was easy portability between the Wii and the PS3. As such, the PS3 version isn't the greatest thing to look at. Much like the Dynasty Warriors series, there are frequent pop-in problems where soldiers will appear right in front of you. The frame rate is a rock-solid 60 frames per second, and the effects applied to the special art attacks are gorgeous. These comments exclude the game's multiplayer mode, which looks terrible and runs at best half the frame rate the rest of the game does. However, you can both play as Yukimura, which is pretty cool.
The blood of Takeda pumps through my heart.
Whoa, double Yukimura! Oh my god! Oh my god! Woo! Yeah! Sengoku Basara's campaign mode is about 5 hours long per character and can be played through again on an alternate pass or higher difficulty. Multiply that by the 16 plus characters and you have a lot of replayability. In addition to the campaign mode, there is also a quick battle mode, which allows you to play as any of the characters at any of the levels in the game. Alright, now time for the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good: enjoyable combat that varies a lot between characters, high replay value, completely hilarious cutscenes, and a bargain price of only $40. The bad: pop-in problems and the maddening voice clips.
How'd you like to feel some...
Did you bring up the butter graphics?
Are we doing that joke again?
Yeah, everything's great, butter!
The ugly: spending 30 minutes on a stage only to die at the boss because you have low health and already ate all the healing items in the level.
We know more about the battlefield than anyone else.
Overall, Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes is a great game which differentiates itself enough from the competitors to be worth the $40 price tag. That's why we here at GigaBoots.com give Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes an 8.4 out of 10.
Nobunaga, they were in on it the whole time. They planned the resurrection cycles to be 50 years off from each other so that way neither of them would terrorize the earth at the same time. Otherwise they would go hungry and not have enough blood to fulfill their vampiric needs. Oh yeah, Nobunaga, totally a fucking vampire. Truth.